Hey guys, so this week I read Brenden Reichs' Nemesis, which was... It's a mixed one for me, if I'm completely honest. I was sent it by Netgalley a few months ago, and it's coming out this month, so I thought I'd better get around to reading it first. And the first two, thirds of the book are amazing, because it focuses on Min and Noah, who are both killed every 2 years on their birthday by a mysterious man in black, and they don't know why. And they don't know that the other one is also being killed at the same time. All they know is that they get killed on every even birthday by the man in black. But they slowly start to unravel the mystery of why this is happening to them, as there's a meteor supposed to be hitting the Earth, and the Earth is going to hell and it's all going to die, and it's sort of all wrapped up in this, with the military are involved, and the teachers are involved, and the psychiatrists are involved, and everybody in the town seems to be involved in this. And they don't know why, and they slowly start to unravel the mystery of it. And it was so interesting and so cool, because Min was such a proactive character, and she was such a strong female character. She didn't take nothing from nobody, and she was immediately, straight in, getting in there to, figure out what was going on and trying to sort it all out herself and all the rest of it. And it was really, really interesting, and I loved her. And then the last third of the book happened, and that's where it completely lost me and my allegiance and everything else, because the last third I really, really hated, and it just put me off the book entirely, if I'm completely honest. The first thing that they did that annoyed me was shoving in a love story, and it felt really forced between Min and Noah to suddenly be trying to get these feelings for each other when the world is ending, as they're being hunted down by the military, and everything seems to be going wrong, and they're suddenly falling for each other after never speaking to each other before this week. No, it felt like it was properly shoved in there and shoehorned in, because that's just what happens in YA novels, and it just didn't ring true to me, to be completely honest. But I thought, no, I'm not going to be petty, I'm going to look over it, because if that's what the author wants to do, the author can do it. It's not my story, it's theirs. So I carried on, and then the ending happened, and it kind of lost me there, because the ending I just found really unsatisfactory, if I'm honest. I won't give spoilers in case you want to read it, but the ending to me just felt wrong. Well, not wrong, it felt really full of plot holes. There were so many plot holes in the idea. The original idea as to why this is happening is very good, but the outcome and why they've decided to do this, and why the military are experimenting on their entire year group, specifically these two and two others, just didn't make sense. And then everything that happened, because it turned more into Lord of the Flies as the ending started, and it just fell to pieces for me, if I'm completely honest. It kind of ended on a cliffhanger, but it also kind of made the book into the Hunger Games at the end, which just... It didn't make sense to me. It just really didn't make sense to me. It felt like it was two completely separate books shoved into one, and the author had sort of lost what they were doing halfway through, and then suddenly decided or realised that this is actually a YA novel, so they had to shove as many tropes in as physically possible to make it a YA novel, and that just felt wrong and such a letdown compared to the first half, because the first half was really intelligent and so well written and beautifully twisted around with plot twists and all the rest of it, and it was really interesting and I was really involved with it. And then the last bit just completely lost me, because it was just a cliche amount of tropes with ridiculous ideas, and it didn't make sense. It had more plot holes in than anything else I've seen or read, and I was sat there reading it going, what is this? What just happened? Why are they doing this? And I was completely and utterly confused as to why this was going on, and it just didn't ring true to me, that ending. The first bit was absolutely brilliant and I loved it. It's just the ending was I think the ending, quite frankly, needs rewriting and maybe being rethought out a bit more, because for me it felt like it had been written in a complete rush, and like they'd suddenly lost the flow of what they were doing. They were coming up to the deadline, so they had to quickly write something. I'm not sure if this is true, I don't know, but to me it just felt wrong, and like it was just rushed, and it didn't ring true to me for the rest of the book, which was a real shame, because the first half started out so well. I absolutely adored the first half, and especially considering the cover is so nice as well. It was such a letdown, and I really had hoped for more. And I don't know if there's going to be a sequel that's going to explain any of the things that happened, or what. Goodreads doesn't say anything on there. The author hasn't said anything, so I don't know if there's going to be a sequel that explains things more or what. And even if there was, I don't even know if I'll pick it up, if I'm completely honest, because everything about that ending put me off this story so much. I don't know if I can even pick up the next one to find out what happens, which is such a shame, considering the first bit of this book was absolutely amazing, and I was so enthusiastic about it and telling everybody to read it, and now I'm just like, actually don't, unless you want a really disappointing ending. And I hate to say it, I just couldn't get into it, I'm afraid, and I really wish I could have. Like, the writing in that first half was so well done. It was just the last bit just really, I don't know, I just felt like it needed rewriting. At the least it needed rewriting, maybe replotting. I don't know, it just felt like it just needed something more in there to try and wrap it up a bit better, or maybe a bit more explanation to it. I know it's supposed to be a bit more of a mystery still, but I felt like it could have done with a bit more explanation, maybe a few more plot holes being filled in. I don't know if the second one will do that, I don't know, but I just really wanted to like the ending, and I just really couldn't, and I'm really sorry that I couldn't, because it just didn't work for me, I'm afraid. I'm so sorry that it didn't. It just didn't in the end, which is a real shame, to be honest. And if you've read this book, please tell me what you thought of it down in the comments, because that'd be great. And if you want to see more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be my previous videos. But until next time, guys, I'll see you later, but bye.